We back with another one, and y'all see the screen. It says, do not befriend your coworkers. Oh my goodness, man. Y'all ain't gonna believe what happened. I don't know what happened. We about to find out together. Let's see.
This is a story on why you should not make friends at work. So when I was 19, I was working at a restaurant, right? And like it was a couple of girls working there, and I made friends with this girl. She was 26, which it was a weird age gap because I felt like I was more mature at 19 than she was at 26. But anyways, we was working at the restaurant. I used to come in late sometimes. She would come in late. A couple of girls would come in late. So our manager eventually said like, "Oh, if y'all keep coming in late, we're gonna write y'all down, and eventually you'll get fired." So I took it serious because I was like, "All right, I don't want to lose my job right now." So I started like taking time out like aside to get breakfast or get lunch and lounge before I enter work because you can't eat on the floor, and I just wanted to take that time out for myself. So she said she was going to do the same thing because, it's the smart thing to do. So this is like the first thing that happened that made me think like, can I really be friends with this girl? Like it was really a red flag. So I was on my way to work and I stopped by the pizza shop like up the block to get pizza and to sit down before going to work. And she called me and she's like, "Oh, Aisha, where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the pizza shop, like I'm by the restaurant." And she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not in the mood right now, like I don't even want to be here, my energy's down." She said something like, "Oh, could you do me a favor, like a huge favor?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she's like, "Oh, do you mind getting me Starbucks?" And like the time that it was like I think like around 3 o'clock, and like the area is just like so packed with people. It's the meat packing district, so if it gets super packed by tourists. So I was already like, I don't want to do this, but we just started becoming friends, so let me just do this favor. So I go to Starbucks and it's packed like what I imagined, and I'm already on time, so I'm about to be late. And I called her, I'm like, "Hey, what do you want?" And she says she wants a pineapple refresher. And madam, like, "Girl, what you mean? Like, you so tired? Like, then get coffee." But whatever. So I got her the pineapple refresher, went to work. I was late at work. People already looking like, "Oh, you late?" Like, because you shouldn't be late. And then it's awkward. Like, the walkthrough was already like, everyone has to see you walk through. So I give her the refresher. And then she takes one sip and she's like, "I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't even want this. Like it's not my type. Like, or it's not like the type of flavor I want. I didn't know it was gonna taste like this." And then she puts it down, and she's like, "Do you want it?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want it." And then she says, "Okay, so I'm just gonna throw it in the garbage because it doesn't make any sense."
Oh my goodness. Is she serious? You make this woman late for work, asking her to do you a solid, do you a huge favor, go to Starbucks for you. Like the girl said, it's weird. You tired, you trying to get through this shift. Why wouldn't you want a coffee? You want a pineapple refresher? She goes out of her way to stand in line and risk being late. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm not risking being late to work for nobody. And I don't know why it has become for some people just acceptable that being late for work is like okay. I was always taught in my family that being on time was being early. So being late, like that's not even an option. Like in my mind, it's not even happening. So the fact that this woman realized that she and her other coworkers were coming in late, she made the personal decision, holding herself accountable to say, "Hey, let me be more responsible. Let me show up." That's the way that you should do. Show up on time. Then, because you are trying to befriend this person at work, a coworker, which we already know, like not everybody need to be your friend. And on top of that, definitely many of your coworkers do not need to be your friend at all. And risking your job, risking your employment for this coworker, it's never a good look. Don't do it, y'all. Take this as a lesson from this young lady to never, ever, ever risk your employment for a coworker. Because what if that was the one time that she came in late and now they're ready to write her up? And like she said, she working in a restaurant, right? You got to come in many cases, through the front door. Everybody gonna see you come in late. And like she said, they looking, they whispering, they talking. So it's not a secret. You can't just sneak in and clock in and everything is good. No. But what's so nasty about it, what's so horrible about it, what's so diabolical is this woman made her late to work. And on top of that, once she got the beverage that this woman went out of her way to get for her, put herself in a position of coming in late and potentially losing her job, she takes one sip from it, says, I don't want this. Do you want it? Okay, no, I'm going to throw it in the trash. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. Let's see what happens next, though. That's crazy, though. That's crazy.
I didn't know it was going to taste like this. And then she puts it down. And she's like, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I don't want it. And then she says, okay, so I'm just going to throw it in the garbage because it doesn't make any sense. So she throws it in the garbage, which I low-key felt like that was disrespectful.
Mad disrespectful.
But I'm like, whatever. Nah. So she throws it in the garbage. And I told her, I'm like, bro, you made me wait in line to get this coffee. I came to work late and you didn't even want it. She's like, I'm sorry. And then like she laughed. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It's not big of a deal. You know. So then, like, the next week we was on the schedule for the same day, and she calls me right before my shift starts, and she's like, oh, Aisha, where are you? And I was like, I'm about to walk to the building. Like, I was literally walking to the building, and she's at work. That's what's blowing me. So she's like,
on time.
Oh, do you mind getting me? And then she says like some food. She's like, do you mind getting me? And I'm like, no, I'm not about to turn around in my tracks to get you food because you didn't like take the time off to get yourself food. I was like, honestly, Jasmine, I'll say her name. I'm like, honestly, Jasmine, like, not right now because like I'm about to be late. And she was like, really, you can't get me out of that. And I was like, honestly, no. Cause it's like, that's so selfish. How you asking me to get you food? You could have got yourself food before you clocked in. So I go to work.
And remember this, y'all. This woman is older than her. The woman asking her to risk being late to work and to go and pick up food for her before she clocks into work is older than her. Meaning that she should be more mature. She should have an understanding that, oh man, this young girl, I shouldn't keep making her late. On top of that, you shouldn't be dependent on any coworker, let alone one of your younger coworkers to keep doing you favors. Like, that right there is just, that's nasty. But one thing that I can say that I'm really glad that this young lady in the video is doing is she's setting boundaries. She's not afraid to say no. And for people that struggle with that, people that are, that tend to be a little bit more people pleasing, that find it more difficult to say no, coworkers like that lady will, oh my gosh, they will take advantage of you in the worst ways. So I'm so grateful that this young lady had boundaries, and I just want to encourage you out there. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to draw boundaries because it's vitally important. And if you don't do it, there are some people who are very, very manipulative and who are very, very self-serving, and they will take full advantage of you and not care at all.
Really, you can't get me out of that. And I was like, honestly, no. Because it's like, that's so selfish. How you asking me to get you food? You could have got yourself food before you clocked in.
Right.
So I go to work, and then I say hi to the girls and whatever. And then when it's time for me to say hi to her, she like turns around and then she rolls her eyes. She literally goes
like this. Now she acting stank. She acting stank now.
And then she like keeps going on about her day. Like she like ignores me the whole day. And literally I'm thinking, all right, so we're not friends anymore. Like, it is what it is. This
I like
girl,
that. Whatever.
At the end of the night, she's gonna be like, I don't like when we argue, or I don't like when we fight.
That's a fake friend.
Why are we fighting? I'm like, girl, like, what are you talking about? Oh my god, I couldn't even do anything but laugh. But at the time, I was like, come on, like that's not funny. Like you literally didn't talk to me all day because you're tight that I didn't give you food. And she was like, no, I thought you was mad. That's why. And I was like, all right. But no, this girl is literally crazy. And then for that situation, she did call me selfish one day for that. But whatever. We had like a rocky relationship, whatever. And then eventually I had to cut this girl off because she was moving crazy. But that's my story on why I do not trust coworkers. That already scarred me like when I was 19, and like I'm already scarred for the rest of my life now. Do not trust coworkers. Keep your personal life and then your private life totally separate.
Yep.
You do not have to make friends at work. You can, but don't go out of your way to do it.
Yeah, what she just said at the close is spot on. Like, for one, I feel like you need to be professional first and foremost and cordial with people that you work with. Making friends at work, to me, that's just not the place to be making friends. Now, if you do work in an environment where, y'all, they go out a lot. That's something that I definitely experienced when I was working in corporate America. They like to do things a lot as a team, as a group, whether that's going out to lunch together, going out and grabbing dinner after work together. Now, that's different. And to me, that's still not we're friends. It's we're coworkers, and we're team building in this moment, and definitely going out of your way. I think that you should not be going out of your way to become friends with somebody at your job, and especially in a situation where you don't really know that person that well, and if they are a manipulative person like the woman that she was working with, then yeah, you should want to keep them at your distance. I know that's me. I'm like, yo, no, back up. Don't want nothing to do with you. But nah, I'm glad that this young lady was able to see the writing on the wall, start to see that this person was taking advantage of her. And she was like, nah, not gonna be able to do it. No way, no how, got to draw those boundaries. And that's super duper important. So I would advise you, if you are in a situation where you're considering becoming friends with somebody at your job, think twice before you do that, because it could turn out for the worse. And definitely try your best to establish boundaries with coworkers, especially if it's things that are not related to work. Because that's the main thing. It wasn't like she was asking her to do anything for her or do favors to her that were work related. It was all stuff that was not related to work. It was just like, yo, lazy behind didn't stop off and get you some Starbucks before you came into work, or you didn't, go on a break or go on your lunch and go grab some Starbucks, or you didn't bring a lunch to work. So now you want your young coworker to come bring you a lunch in and risk being late again. And when she says no, now you want to act stank. Cool. Like she said, you a fake friend. Who cares about you? That's the way that I would handle that. Would love to know if you've had a similar situation like this, if you had to draw the boundaries with coworkers at work, or if you ever had a consideration of becoming friends with a coworker and maybe it didn't turn out the way that you thought. Let me know. You already know, before you go, you don't have to subscribe until you're ready to join the family, but there is a video on your screen of another story. Oh my goodness. There was a young lady who had a crazy coworker, and I want you to check that video out, see what that coworker did. Man, it was much worse than this situation. So if you want to check it out, videos on the screen to do that. I'm Jay, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.